Good everyone, and welcome to today's video, and today we have a subscriber request by DaveSchilling for the M10 GMC Tank Destroyer. Now me and the old M10 have been through mixed relations, let's just say. I'm not the biggest fan of the M10 because of the slow traversing turret of just 4 degrees a second almost. It's alright, but back when I spaded the French M10, I swear I killed more American M10s than I actually should, but hey ho, can't win them all, can you? But the M10 is surprisingly fun at times. Obviously, it's got the same, well, pretty much the same gun as the one on the 76mm Shermans, the 76mm Jumbo, the M6, A1 heavy tank. It's a good gun, and you're at 3.7. Fair enough, you have to sacrifice a bit of armor. Mobility isn't too bad on this thing, but your gun mantlet's pretty trollish as well. You get a 50 cal on the top to shoot down some twat in a plane or something like that. So it's not too bad. I mean, it could be better, but the recently, obviously, well, not recent, but obviously, the M10 got given a add-on armor package of 20mm tracks, and you'll be surprised how many shots these can soak up. Obviously, one thing we're going to watch is this part of the turret here, where it's very easy to penetrate, take out the gunner, loader, maybe even the commander. Then, of course, there's flat spots in the breach where they can just, or the mantlet where they can just hit the breach and take the breach out. Your reverse of just 3 miles an hour isn't going to save your ass, so if you get breached and some light tank rushes you and your 50 can't kill it, you're fucked. Let's just say that. But obviously, since the penetration buffs, this APCBC round is going to be very useful. I can see it being pretty dang effective, let's just say. The 50 cal, obviously, APIT in two rounds of APIT in the overall belt, so to speak. Obviously, out of all of it, I do actually prefer using like if I was to say the bullet to rely on would be your APIT, which is going to be the tracer round in this. So try and hit as many planes as you can with the 50 cal, and you'll get results. So I'll jump into a battle and then I'll go briefly over the history, and we're straight in. I'll go into the history of the M10. So to put it briefly, the American Tank Destroyer project as a whole, their concept was essentially give the Shermans the smaller guns, which had the better HE capacity, no hull mount machine guns, so there is no weak spot in the hull, and they were essentially designed to be as fast as possible and use the improved firepower of the tanks to kill tanks, as in enemy tanks. That was essentially the role of the M10. It was designed to get up into a nice position. We are 4.3, so not bad, but it could be better. We're basically fully up tiered. Against the Germans, where you can kill pretty much anything. Against the Italians, same course of action. Just don't hit the P-40's driver's port. You will regret it. We've got a couple of KV-2s in the game, so at least they're on our side. But for the Germans, we'll have to fight Panzer IV F2s, Panzer IV Gs, Panzer IV Hs. And yeah, this isn't a bad tank destroyer. I don't mind the M10. It's just the turret takes the piss. What do I mean by taking the piss? Well, essentially that means it takes forever. But with the M10, if you're fully spaded, you can get into a decent firing position early, which is what we're going to try and do here. Obviously we're a tank destroyer, so we can't call on artillery. I have no idea what's going on in the chat, but don't worry about it. Volkswagen Panzer IV just killed someone there. The thing is about the M10, we have next to no armor. I mean, the gun mantlet's good, but that's pretty much it in terms of armor. Right, I'm just going to stop the tank here because the sunlight at the moment is getting in my eyes. Just 1 second. That's better. Now I can actually bloody see, and I just saw a tank there, so... Well, it's a car, but it's still a vehicle that can pen us. But then again, that isn't much of an achievement with an M10. Let's be bloody real. Yep, there he is. Go for the engine. And hold brake. Oh, piss off. That would have killed him. And now you can see the mantlet. And it appears he has a friend. Pretty small friend, but that is still a dangerous vehicle. Well, was. Thanks to the penetration buff, you can do that to a 75-46. I preferably want to give him my front armor. Okay, Panzer 4F2 just died. There's a lot of them camping that ridge. We need to move. Like now. I think I have backup. So I have a single backup on his vehicle, so if we need to, we'll bring another one out if we die. I see him, mate. Hang on. Why would you J out so then I can't fucking see you, retard? Got rid of him. We're not really destroying tanks, we're destroying armoured cars, but they're still threats. I mean, we've killed, what, we've killed 2 Pumas and a tank destroyer. Oh, he's going to beat us to trigger. Never mind. Yep, they're all rushing that fucking ridge, I swear. Single shot, yep, knew that was coming. Right, well we do have a backup vehicle, so it's not all word bellends, I like that. Of course, no one at sea because they're fucking retards, as per usual. 3 kills, obviously 2 Pumas and a 75-46. Obviously, we can go straight for the thickest armor on that thing with this penetration buff, so it's really handy to have. I reckon though he's gonna rush the frickin' spawn, one of those Pumas. So let's get in a position to intercept, so to speak. But honestly, the amount of... Yeah, they've gone back into the cap. Dude, stop screaming for cover. You're in a chaffy, you're rushing ahead. I'll let the turret swing around. Like I said, this Panzer IV camping up here. And it's just... Oh, what is that chaffy doing? And he just died to the guy who I just pointed out. Fucking hell. And I mean, we got a decent start in the first M10. Obviously, I'm bringing a second M10 out. And let's try and move up. This is the problem with allied teams, they're just so freaking useless. I held up my ground as much as I could. There's a Marder around there, yeah, he just died. I nearly had the bloody Marder, but of course the Panzer IV who was camping the bloody freaking ridge didn't help. That's the thing though, if you get shot in your M10 you're gonna bloody feel it. German guns are just so easy to get penetrations with. In some cases they might even go through your mantlet, so that's something to bear in mind. Let's see if we can't get down into the low ground like we did. What's those fucking ridge lines, I swear. I don't get why there's so many of them up there. No, he's found something. Right. I can hear something to my right. There's Marder. I heard something to my right and I was like, what the hell was that? And it looked to my right, bloody Marder 3! Don't know why he's in this game. It's 2.7 tank destroyer. I mean, the gun's good, but... Oh, that gave me PTSD then. I thought I was a squeezy boy. Ho, 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 ho. Right. Let's turn the gun, see if we can get in a position where we can actually use the mantlet. Another thing I forgot to mention about the M10 Tank Destroyer is that, well, we've got 10 degrees of gun depression, so we can sit right here. But to be honest, and there goes that first Puma that I damaged earlier on. I don't know what to do here, people, I'll be truthfully honest, but... I swear though, there was like 4 guys on that freaking ridge, like... Is it... Bring your ridge, or bring your tank to the ridge work day or something like that? I've never seen so many tanks up there. Well, kind of 2 of them are cars, but... Still, the game considers it a light tank. Kill the Werble one. This isn't Harry Potter, my friend. And even then, it's Harry Potter. Like, as much as I love Harry Potter, you don't need to make a reference to it. I mean, we did make those tanks go Expelliarmus pretty much, and we just sent them packing as they went flying with their turrets off. I hear a plane. That is 109. I've just seen a tank fire. That's a Cromwell. That is a friendly. Unless the Germans have a captured one, which, to be honest, the amount of captured premiums Germany has, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't really drive the M10 that much, so I thought if I burn the backup vehicle, I can still use this thing. Whenever I do a recording in a tank for a subscriber request, I tend to just bring the tank. I don't tend to bring anything else. Okay. We can cover this M10 as he drives up the road. Game's almost over anyway. Oh, so T-34's screaming for the spawn. He's going at full whack ears. I'm gonna go watch the left road. Yeah, I spaded the French M10. That was actually quite alright, to be honest. Mainly because I got the Germans on my side. Like, you can see a French M10 over there. I used to get the Germans on my side, and it was very funny just to see American M10s duking out with French M10s. That's a friendly KV1. Good, good. Why are you coming this way? There's nothing down here. Special players, I tell you. In fact, thinking about it, we could actually go up to that ridge where the Pumas and stuff like that was. What are you doing? What are you doing? Knobhead. Learn to drive, you dickhead, seriously. What level's that guy? Let's have a look. Level 8, he ain't got a bloody clue. See, more brains on a doorknob. That's one of my new favourite insults, by the way. If someone pisses you off and they're clearly lacking in intelligence, just say to them they've got the brain cells of a doorknob, which is none. They won't understand it. They'll be too busy to. They'll be too busy trying to, like, what's the word? Think of it, come back. They won't even realise how good the insult actually is. That's another one for you, DTT, in terms of insults anyway. I know you love insulting people. Like me. I swear that I should have been permabanned in chat long ago. Stupid PS4 pleb. Who uses the term pleb anymore? Bloody hell. Come on, M10. There we go. Like I say, I like the mobility of this thing. It is pretty dang effective. And when you get your mantlet down here, it's not too bad at all. Hello. Pull forward, pull forward, pull forward. Gorgeous. M10 gets the kill on the Whirlwind, which normally I would crap myself ever seen a Whirlwind in this thing. The amount of M10s I've given PTSD in SPAA vehicles. This guy is extremely salty. Of course, he shouldn't even be down here. Well, that appears to be the end of the match. 5 kills in total, obviously technically not an ace, but I'll take it. I mean, 3 kills in the first M10, 2 in this one. And there's another Whirlwind up there. Hang on. No, that's not it. Any planes? No, can't use a 50 cal, that's disappointing. Hey, that's clearly Spanish or something like that. Panzer 3 just killed someone over there. Not much I can do, obviously we're sat up here, we're not camping to spawn like those fucktards over there. But, we had a good game nonetheless. I mean, the M10 isn't the best tank destroyer in my opinion. I'll say what's better, the American tree than this. What are these two doing? I don't bloody know what was up with those two. But yeah, obviously 5 kills in total. I mean, I got a skin on the M10 done as well, which is helpful. But in terms of tank destroyers for the US tree, I didn't really tend to rely on them because, well, what I mean by that is like the Sherman line is pretty solid. Obviously, the M4A2 is my favorite 75 Sherman. The Lee, don't even bother because poor Dark Angel got a talisman on this thing. I might have to ask him for a replay in it. But obviously you got the M6, you got Jumbos, you got the 76 Shermans, which I'm just... You will fight with the first American Sherman with the 76 with the T-23 turret. I might have to go into history about the 76 Shermans at some point. But once you get to higher tier, yeah, you're looking at the answer to replacing the M10. Obviously, once you get to Jumbo level, maybe even 76 M4A3, you're going to want to bring the Hellcat. The Hellcat is a really good tank destroyer. It's also a pain in the ass to deal with, but hull break is really handy for getting rid of those little sods. But yeah, obviously, I was going to bring the French M10 because Dave didn't specify. He just said M10, and I was like, okay, I'll use the American one. But personally, if I think you're going to play an M10, I'd recommend the French one because sometimes you can get with the Germans and the Russians, and that is just fun. Especially if you get this thing in a good position. This tank absolutely cleans up. Obviously, I still need to work on the skins for this thing, which I will probably do at some point. But, I mean, the armor's okay. Obviously, we died to a side shot, which the side armor's 19. And even with the additional track armor, a Panzer IV could be at 4 kilometers and still pen your ass. Whirlwinds will have a field day with your side, so just bear that in mind. But overall, do I recommend driving the M10? Yeah, it's alright. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but it gets the job done. And as we saw with that Whirlwind, the gun is very easy to aim. I barely had to aim that guy and just pull the trigger and that was the end of him. And with 148mm of pen and decent explosive charge, you're gonna kill him 9 times out of 10 in a single shot. And that was sort of a pun towards the M10 before anyone asks. Because 9 times out of 10, yeah, I'll stop. But anyway, thank you for the subscriber request, DaveSchilling. Obviously, I do enjoy doing subscriber requests if people ask for vehicles. Yeah, M10s are pretty solid vehicles, but I prefer the French ones simply due to fighting with the Axis forces, which is actually pretty funny because the M10 never saw service with Axis nations, as far as I'm aware. Don't even think any of them were captured. Even if there was, they probably saw very little to no service. And obviously the Ersatz M10, which is the Panther, That is technically a war crime tank, so I'm not going to count that. But hey. So anyway, I'll let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's video on the M10 Tank Destroyer. Obviously, people call it well, people call it the Achilles, but I tend to refer to that one as the British one. They sometimes refer to it as a Wolverine, which I don't call it a Wolverine. That's water tank stuff. And well, yeah, I just call it the old M10. Anyway, I'll let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's video, as I said, and I will catch you all on the next one.